Hey everyone, we have a full day of eating. We're kind of doing a refeed day, and I've decided if I'm getting my oven hot, I'm cooking. Good morning, everyone. Hey, good morning, good morning. Welcome all you new folks, and welcome back to Loving It on Keto. Hey, you guys, I'm Wendy. Harry's the cameraman, and Miss Little Sally's our little chihuahua. And you guys, we have a full day of eating today. We need to play catch up, I think, and kind of refuel our bodies. And I thought, if I'm heating up the oven because I want bacon, if I'm heating it up, I'm going to use it today before it gets too hecka hot here in Arizona. It's supposed to be like 113, 114, which means it's probably going to be 115 degrees here. Oh man, you guys, how is everybody doing in June? Did you guys take a break from all of the challenges? Are you guys following the foods list on Dr. Eric Westman's page 4 or Adapt Phase 1 in the End Your Carb Confusion? What are you guys doing? Share your success story with everybody in the comments down below. We have a wonderful and great keto community that comes and watches our videos, and it's great when everybody shares and interacts what works best for them, because everybody's body is different. You guys, we did a 24-hour fast. Yesterday we purposefully started with a 20-hour fast. By the time we were done with our daughter and son-in-law, and then got through that habu, and if you have not watched that video, Harry will link it at the end of this video to share with you. I decided we might as well go for 24 hours, and that's what we did. So we broke our fast yesterday with chicken thighs. Yes, we did. But I want to remind everybody
they were so good.
Yes, I want to remind everybody, first of all, that
by the way, I did have two.
Well,
didn't I?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I don't remember. I just checking to see. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything, but you know, she knew. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Harry loves interrupting me, and then my brain goes
Isn't it funny?
And I'm like trying to remember. Sometimes I talk over Harry because I want him to remember what I'm saying.
It's fine. You're just doing your opening.
I am. I'm just doing my opening. Anyway, I'll share what we did have since Harry's already told everybody what we basically had to eat. Anyway, you guys.
My job.
We had a 24-hour fast yesterday. Yes, we did.
24. Yes, 24 hours.
24 hours,
Which
yes,
I wasn't
we did.
planning on doing either.
No, we were not. We had 12 ounces of chicken thighs. We measured our chicken beforehand. We weigh it. Then we come back and weigh the bones and deduct the bone weight because these thighs had bones. And that skin was so crispy and delicious
it was so
in that
good.
air fryer, you guys. And someone in today's comments said, turn your thighs on end and you get more, even more inside. So you guys, turn them like this, stand them up like little scouts in your air fryer, and then cook them. You're gonna have to cook them longer because you're gonna have more, the more you have in, and make sure you temp chicken. What a great idea. Thank you so much for that. We had 2 tablespoons of avocado mayo and a tablespoon of our horseradish mustard to dip our chicken in, and then I made delicious chocolate peanut butter keto chow ice cream. Yes, I did. It was fabulous. You guys, it was 109 at 9 p.m. last night.
Yeah, man,
outside.
It was hot.
And my daughter, Felicia, because that habu came through, there were transformers that blew in certain areas, and unfortunately she was one of them. 6 hours to get her temperature back on, but I told her to go around the house, close all the doors in all the different rooms because it would keep those cold. Stay in one room. When it gets too hot, go to another because it's cooler, right? 2 dogs, and she has 2 old greyhounds. So that's what they did, and they were fine. She read. She had books on tape, and she's read and listened to stuff, and she did just fine. So, but I said, if you need anything, let us know, of course. So anyway, you guys, carbs, 11 grams, fat, 58 grams, protein, 126 grams, total calories, 1,066. And you guys, I was scrounging through my refrigerator looking at foods that I still need to cook, and I thought, you know what? I've got this ripe bacon, and I want bacon and eggs, because what I think was, oh, before we go into that, because I smell the bacon, it's cooking. Here, show.
I wonder who did that.
We got 3 more minutes. Harry, my sous chef, he can cook bacon. He can. But come back, Harry, let's go over our weight because we're going to have bacon really soon. That's got to come out of the oven. And then I'll share what I'm cooking today. But you guys, I'm doing the hold. That means my body's going to want to whoosh. I'm doing 181.8, and usually when I hold on for a couple of days, then I usually go down. Harry went down. He went down 1
pound.
Oh, is that
LB?
Okay, I'm looking upside down and I'm going, what number is that?
I know, it's hard to read.
Sorry. Anyway, you guys, we're both doing really good. Now, we're having bacon. As soon as the bacon's out, I'm going to turn the temp down to 325 because I want to make a loaf of bread. Someone asked me, how come you're not making bread right now? It's because it's so hot and it heats up the house when I have the oven on. But if I already have the oven on, I might as well use it to make bread so I can have some delicious sandwiches. So that's what I'm going to do.
It's only 90 in here right now.
That's the first thing I'm going to bake. So you guys come back in the next segment when I make my bread. And the bacon's ready. Harry, you gonna get the bacon out for us? Sally, come over here, honey.
Baby.
Come on,
Come over here.
Mama.
Come here, Mama.
Yeah, that's too hot.
On you.
Bacon is too hot, little kiddo. Woo, man.
Wow,
Some bacon must have splashed.
Look at that. Oh, there's a lot of bacon fat in there.
Yes, there is. Be careful, Harry. Oh, and I see bacon gold.
Oh, look at all the gold in here.
Yes, indeed, I do. Oh my gosh.
Look at that.
Woo, man, does that look awesome.
Wendy hit the mother load.
I hit the mother load.
Bacon load or something. Yeah.
Look at that, you guys. Yes, indeedy. Ooh. Man, I am excited. It's bacon time. And there's bacon gold in here, and I'll share that with everybody. Everybody needs to know what bacon gold is.
Yeah, because a lot of the new people don't know what you're talking about there, Wendy.
That's right, Harry. I'll share the bacon gold. Because it tastes so good. First, I gotta get this luscious, delicious bacon. Ooh. And this is right bacon, you guys. I love farmland, thick cut, hickory smoked, and I love right thick cut bacon. And that's what this is.
Sally's hovering.
Yes, she is. She heard the word bacon.
Smells the bacon.
And I do not blame her one little bit. She's being so good. She's sitting there watching.
I know.
She's watching the pieces of bacon go from the plate, from the pan to the plate.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
She knows how it works.
She does.
Mom's got to take it out of the thing, let it cool off, then she gets a piece.
Then she gets a little itsy bitsy piece.
No,
yes,
not a whole
does.
lot, because it's got a lot of fat.
It's got a lot of salt. It's not the fat I'm worried about. Well, I am worried about that too, but it's the salt. Animals don't need that much salt. Okay, I have got this lovely clean from Cindy's Loving It on Keto bacon grease that I'm going to be pouring it into.
I think I'm going to find out from her where she got that at.
Cindy DeManchi, where did you get this lovely?
Because I think that'd be a great little piece of merch.
It's darling.
Merch for everybody.
Yes, indeed.
And
Cindy
I'd
will
like to
tell
find
us.
out. We haven't really been doing any of that merch stuff, but I thought this would be a good way to start off.
I love it.
Everybody needs little bacon grease.
Yes, they do. Everybody
in their
needs
day.
A little bit of bacon grease in their day is right. Let me get a spoon.
That is not our curtain.
No, it's not. Okay, here you go.
Dye the sun down when it's over there.
For those of you who are brand new, bacon gold is where you find it. And let me explain why I call it bacon gold. Harry and I are actually gold prospectors from way back, and we used to have several gold mining claims, and we're very active in gold prospecting clubs in California and in Washington State. And we found gold. And the saying with gold is where you find it. And it comes in little pockets here and there. Well,
you guys, it's a lot of hard work.
It's a lot of hard work, trust me. But this is easy work for bacon gold, because come look at this. Now, you guys would say, what do you want to do with all that black and brown crusty stuff? Well, that actually is your bacon gold. So you just come along here.
Oh yeah, man, it is.
And you get
you gotta
this.
Try it out, because you guys have thrown this away for years, and it's, oh my God, it's terrible.
If you like super bacony, salty, fatty, deliciousness, goodness, you're gonna want some bacon gold. So you guys, you take this right there and you put it in your mouth.
It's okay. We don't need a close up of it. We don't need to see what you're talking about. Oh, I know. That's so good. I'm next. I'm next. Be kind.
If you don't like super intense, super salty, super fatty deliciousness, then Bacon Gold is not for you. But if you do, you want to sit here and treat yourself to some Bacon Gold.
And don't tell anybody in the house about it.
That's right. Don't tell the grandkids because they're going to want some.
Oh, yeah. As soon as you tell them about it, it's over.
Okay, Harry. Now, you're kind of scruffy today there, Buster.
I'm scruffy.
Look at this.
I'm a man.
Man, you're having your Bacon Gold.
Oh, man. It's so good.
That is so good.
It's like bacon on steroids, man.
It is. It is.
Oh.
Here's another tip. When you make chicken in the oven,
Oh, yeah.
you're going to have Chicken Gold.
Oh, yeah. You
Go
will,
through
man.
and pick up the Chicken Gold because that is tender, juicy, and creamy, and delicious too. But anyway, you guys, we're going to enjoy a little bit of Bacon Gold, and then are you going to show them how to pour the bacon from the pan
Yeah, of course.
into the grease pot?
Of course.
Okay, but until then, I'm going to enjoy some Bacon Gold. Yes, indeed. Harry, can you pour the grease out, please?
Of course I can. So
Get
then
out of my way.
I always take this edge, fold it over like this, and make a funnel out of it. The reason why I double it is because it will collapse. I like to do it when it's hot because then it's real runny. You know, gotta be careful because you could have a problem. Now, if you notice, I used my coffee strainer to strain this with.
Because this particular container did not come with
Because
a
it doesn't
strainer.
come with a strainer, which is fine. You know, you can even, I think you can even use it, but you got to do it when it's really hot to do this because.
Then you're going to catch all the Bacon Gold
Yeah,
too.
That's right. You catch all the leftover, but you can see how much is left over on top of this, right?
Yeah, look at that Bacon Gold, you guys, right there.
So I pour it in. Yeah, let me set this down over here.
And you can scrape all that Bacon Gold off. Yes, indeed. Now, it's very salty.
Some people might be too intense, but now look at this. Now you see this? I got this in here. Look at how clean. Can you see that in there? Look
Yep.
how clean that is. Almost like pure. It's just pure oil.
It's
Or grease. I should say.
perfect for cooking.
And I like to do it, like I say, when it's hot because it goes through. It'll go through this membrane here really well.
Thank you, Harry, for showing us.
And we'll show it to you when it finally gets room temperature because it'll change totally. Become like a white butter. Okay.
Okay, everybody, I had leftover beef tips, or they're called burnt ends in some parts of the country. And I had 3.5 ounces of them. And I put in 2 tablespoons of bacon crumbles from Kirkland.
What the heck is burnt tips?
They are the ends of the ribs. They want to make the ribs pretty and all one length and one size, so they cut that part off and they save it. And we had them at Bobby Q's, and man, are they delicious. We had them the other night as appetizers. That was our dinner, and I brought some home. So I've decided I'm going to make an omelet with the bacon, with the rib tips, 2 tablespoons of bacon, 2 ounces of mixed cheddar cheeses, 6 eggs, and we're going to split that. And we're going to dollop it with sour cream, some La Victoria hot sauce, and I'm going to use the Cherry Redmond Real Smoked Salt for this. I have a tablespoon of butter heating up in the pan. Yes, I do. I'm going to get my eggs, and I put just a little bit of water in my eggs. That's all I do. Because it makes them fluffy. It fluffs them up more than heavy cream ever will. Save the cream for the top. Save it for sour cream or something like that, because I'm telling you, water works. Let me put this away. Let me get this going here. Get my butter. I want my butter to brown. I don't want it to burn, but I want to get that. The minute it starts smelling like popcorn, it's ready to go.
Ready.
So see, it's bubbling. You want it just to turn, just a little bit. It's burning off the milk fat. And man, all of a sudden you get this aroma. Butter popcorn. Deliciousness. And that's what you want, you guys. That's what you want. And these pans are so slick. The butter is just fabulous with it. I decided I was going to go on the eggs first. I'm not. I'm taking the meat and I'm heating it up in the butter. Getting that bacon heated. Because then we'll get some bacon grease in the mix and then I'll pour the eggs over it. Get this heat up a little bit.
Yeah, because you got some bacon in there.
Yep, I got some of the bacon in here. You guys, this is going to be so good. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so good, so hearty, so filling. And we get bacon on the side. Yes, indeed. See, look at the burnt ends. You can see them. They're dark and crispy and caramelized. Smell that. Oh, yeah. Smells heavenly. Yes, it does. Want to get those warmed up a bit. Put them all out even, and then what you want to do is pour your eggs. And then we'll redistribute the meat because it kind of spreads out. So you want to redistribute the meat. Get the meat in. Don't be afraid. Put it everywhere and let it cook. Let it steam and cook all the way through. And then I'll be topping it with my cheese, 2 ounces of cheese, folding it over, cutting it in half like an omelette. So you guys come back when it's ready to put some cheese on it. Yes, indeed. So what I like to do is I like to take and get the rest of the liquids down into the crevice and underneath because it'll continue to cook. Put that underneath. Drop that down. Now it's ready to add the cheese. I'm going to add the cheese to one side because we're going to fold this over like a big huge omelet. Then we're going to cut it in half and share. So I'm just going to turn off because this is an electric oven and it holds the heat. I'm just turning that off until my cheese is nice and melted. And then you guys come back. We'll fold, cut, and plate. Harry, do you want 2 pieces of bacon?
3.
Did you want 2 pieces of bacon?
3.
Oh, man, okay. I guess we'll get 3 pieces of bacon. Yes, indeed. Man. And you guys, I love cold bacon too. I love putting this in the refrigerator. It makes everything melt into deliciousness. Yes, it does. Okay, and the omelet looks ready to go. Let me get the lid off. Woo! Yeah, look at that. Now I'm just going to take this part of the omelet and just fold it over to make one huge Papa omelet.
That's mine, right? You're going to make 2 of those?
Notice I'm not saying anything. You get to choose which plate you want, Harry.
I never get to say anything about the meals.
Oh, right. Harry never, ever says anything about the meals.
I don't ever get
or
to
about
say
the
anything.
size of the meals either.
That's right.
Or about his size.
You know what everyone says, size matters.
Look at this. In the food department, you betcha, man. You betcha. Here we go. Oh, look at that. This one will be mine. I think this one's a little bit littler. What do you think?
Nah.
They look pretty good. I did pretty good on the... Okay, got some sour cream. I poured off the water off of it, which is the whey, which has lactose in it, which actually you're pouring away the carbs, which is great.
Which way did you pour it off?
Down the sink. Got a dollop. Sour cream for both of us. Yes, indeed. And then I'm going to put some cherry Redmond smoked salt on here because, oh my gosh, this stuff is so good on eggs. Oh, so good. Isn't it, Harry?
Yep.
It is so good on the eggs. And then for the pied la resistance, we have a little La Victoria hot sauce. You can use Cholula, you can use barbecue sauce if you guys like. Whatever you guys like, but I'm just gonna put a little bit of crust here just to give it a little bit of extra oomph. Huh, Harry?
Yep.
Guys, ooh, man, does that look delicious. Look at that. I can smell the barbecue tips in this and the bacon. Man, does that smell good. Anyway, you guys, we've got to go eat now.
Sal finishing up her breakfast.
Hey everyone, I am gonna make some of my BBBE bread. Now, I've had this recipe for probably a year now. It's Wendy's high protein savory BBBE bread with or without raw egg whites. There's 2 ways you can make this. Some of you live out of country and it's hard for you to, or it's more expensive for you to get the egg white powder, the egg white protein powder, and you have more access to raw eggs. It's harder for you to get the egg yolk, the powdered egg yolk, so you can use raw egg yolks instead. And the powdered butter can be replaced by melted, cooled butter. Also, I make mine with Keto Chow beef soup base. If you cannot get, if you do not have, if you do not want to use Keto Chow, I have also made it with beef bone broth and beef gelatin instead. So I have always stated both ways of making this bread, and I have the recipe, and it's got 2 ways to make it. It's got the one way and then the other way on here, and I will list that down in the description below. You can also kind of intermix the 2. Let's say you want to make it with just the egg white protein powder and water, but you have egg yolks you want to use instead of egg powder. You can do that. Let's say you have egg yolk powder, but you don't have buttered powder. You can intermix the egg yolks, the egg yolk powder with real egg yolks, the butter powder with real cool melted butter, and vice versa, to make your own bread and make it your way, you guys. Lots of people have made this kind of bread with using the bone broth and the gelatin, or bone broth only, or gelatin only. So it's a very forgiving recipe, but this is how Harry and I like it. This is the best flavor for us and texture for us. We really, really like this bread. We also like our high protein buttermilk bread just as well. I like it because it has more of a sourdough taste. This one is more of a Wonder Bread, but a little bit savory undertone, and it's just absolutely delicious. So I hope you guys come along. I'm sharing this with all the new folks because we get new folks every day, and I know some of you guys are old hat. This is your favorite bread, or the buttermilk protein bread is your favorite as well. So I'm sharing you my favorite and easiest way for me to make my BBBE bread today, you guys. So I have my mixer, and I have 1 1/2 cups of water. Yes, I do, if I don't spill it all out. I have that. I have cream of tartar. I'm finally to the end of my cream of tartar in my big bag that I had. It's lasted me a year, so that's really good. And I put about a teaspoon. Some people only like to put a 1/2 teaspoon. It's up to you, but I'm putting in a teaspoon right into the water mix. I am going to put in some organic seasoned salt. Now you can use regular Himalayan pink salt. You can use Redmond regular salt if you don't have this. I just like that little bit of the seasoning in it. We like that taste. We also love the taste of salt. So this is what I'm doing. I'm putting in a teaspoon of this, making sure I've got it right. Let me read. Oh, wow, I'm glad I didn't do that. I'm glad I didn't do that. Look, 1/4 teaspoon. Whew, man, it's been a long time since I've made bread.
Yeah, it has been.
Woo, woo, woo. Okay, let me get a 1/4 teaspoon. I would have gone, man, this bread is salty. Okay, let me get 1/4 teaspoon. That's more like it. Oh man, Wendy, you better reread your 1.5 cups water, 1 teaspoon cream of tartar, 1/4 teaspoon Redmond organic seasoned salt. Better start reading my own recipes, you guys. Man, I'm just a ditzy lady today. There you go.
Today?
1/4 teaspoon.
Just today, right?
Just today.
Just today.
Just today. Only
Yeah.
and for only today. Yes, indeed. Oh man. Okay, you guys. Now, I like putting anything that. Oh, and I can put my allulose. Now, my allulose, I have come to the conclusion that you only need 1 tablespoon of allulose, and that is optional. Allulose is another thing that's expensive. You know, if you don't want to use it and you don't mind having a blonde colored or white colored bread, you're welcome to, but I like the browning effect. And you don't
mean for the
need,
crust?
for the crust, you don't need more than a tablespoon because this will do the trick. And I think that's because I use butter and eggs, and I think that helps brown the bread naturally. That's just my opinion. But I have found for sweetness in the bread and for color purposes, to get the browning effect, I only need a tablespoon. So that's just me. This is my bread. So I'm putting my beef base in here. Doesn't need to be weighed. But then I need to turn this on. Now, if I didn't have the soup base, I would put something like a powdered bone broth in here. You also probably could use, instead of water or half of the water, you probably could use like a half of a cup of that water. Use a cup of water and a half of a cup of your favorite bone broth. It would make it more savory, but you probably could even do that. And if you do, you guys, let me know how that tastes. Let me know how that tastes. Now, I'm going to turn this to grams because I want 6 grams, which is about a tablespoon of powdered egg yolk, or 1 whole egg yolk at the end. There it is, 6. Exactly 6. And then I need the same for Anthony's premium butter powder. Some people put 2 egg yolks in, and that's up to you as well. If you like a more eggy flavor, then you can add it as 1 or 2, depending on how you like it. I'm going to put in a tablespoon of Anthony's butter powder. Should come to 12 on this. Oops, almost. There, 12, because I didn't tartar it out. And I think I'm going to add just a tablespoon of gelatin, just to give it a little bit more chewiness. So you guys can do stuff. There we go. Just to give it a nice little chewiness.
Which one is that?
This is Zint. It's grass-fed beef gelatin. We have this on our Amazon store. But you guys can also just use regular Knox gelatin you get in the bakery aisle of almost every single grocery store in America. Now, I've got that. I'm going to set that aside. You want to always add everything that has a fat in it at the end after you have already got your eggs to a stiff peak.
Why is that?
Because your egg whites will not get stiff peaks with fat present. So I am taking this, I'm just stirring it up. So I'm going to add this at the end. I would add at the end powders first, and then whole egg yolks and whole real cooled butter. I would hand stir that in at the end just to incorporate those if you're using the liquid version. Now, I'm taking my egg white powder, putting it on my scale. And I'm going to get in 120 grams. So I'm reversing the weight. This will go negative 120. You have to be careful with the egg white protein powder because it will make your bread styrofoam if you pack this in and overdo on the egg whites. That's the one thing we noticed. Trial and error. Whoops. I'd rather go under than over. There we go. Exactly 120 grams. I'm going to put this on low and let it incorporate. And then I am going to let it go on high for about 5 minutes. What's wrong with my thing? Oh no. There. Okay, you guys. As soon as it kind of incorporates a little bit, I'm gonna cook it. I'm gonna beat it for 5 minutes or until you have very stiff peaks. Come back when we have stiff peaks. It has actually been 6 minutes. The weather here is 113 degrees outside. So now what you do is you take your powder, you turn your mixer on low. This is adding your powdered fats back in. It. I put this shield back in because, you guys, it's all balled up around the mixer, and if I turn the mixer on high for 10 seconds, it kind of takes that off the mixer. Watch. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kind of centrifugal force. Anyway, let me take this and put this over here. Man, you guys, it's hot.
Yeah,
this is
really
the
hot, it's hotter heck in here.
Blackberry lemonade Waterloo, and man, is it good.
Yeah, it is really good. It's very tasty.
I'm loving all of the Waterloo flavors right now.
Yeah, they're good.
This really flopped up high.
Walking.
This really flopped up high. Now, watch your ears, you guys. Watch your ears.
Nice.
You want to make sure you go around the sides. You get to the bottom of your bowl and look for any white, because this makes it just a cream color. Look for any white, egg white, because that will make a styrofoamy streak in your bread. More dense streak in your bread. But look how nice this fluffs up. So I have a used parchment paper. Perfectly acceptable to use your used parchment paper. If you don't tear it up, getting your bread out, you can reuse it. Now, I use clips just to kind of hold it down until I get my bread pushed into all 4 corners. Push gently to get the air holes out of the bread, because you've been fluffing it and adding air to your bread as you've been making it. Okay, so now I just take off my clips. And this bread pan, this metal one, is on our Amazon site. People always ask me, and I think you get 2, don't you? When you get
I think it's 2 for the price. Yeah.
For the price?
Yeah.
I just layer and push into the sides, into the corners gently. Just get it into the corners gently, and this is going to make a huge, wow, Mart, this is like
big
monster bread.
Yeah.
This is going to make monster bread.
Monster bread!
Which is going to be great. We haven't had bread in a long time, but like I said, it's been so hot here. I want to make sure I'm using the heat in the kitchen and my stove wisely. If I'm going to heat it up, I want to cook a few things in it. And one of the things I want to cook is bread.
Outside edge.
Yep. I'll come here. Push it down all the way to the edge. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Get it over here. You get to learn how to mold the bread. You want to kind of give it a flat top and then square sides. Because it's going to rise and it's going to ooze out the sides. Don't start it close to the sides. I've kind of found out. Trial and error. Oh, there's an air hole right there I just uncovered. Kind of push it back and forth. Kind of gently pushing on it so that you are getting the air bubbles out of it. Squaring it off on the sides as you go, because it's going to ooze a little bit, isn't it, Harry?
Yep. They do their own thing.
They do their own thing, but we want to make it look as pretty as possible. And we want sandwich bread.
Yep.
So I want it high and tight, like a military haircut. High and tight on the sides.
High and tight.
High and tight on the sides. You guys in the service know what I'm talking about. So another thing I learned how to do is I just take my parchment paper and kind of hold it up on the sides, right? Pull it up on the sides a little bit. Okay, this is going into a preheated 325 degree oven for 40 minutes. If you are using raw egg yolks and raw egg whites together, you're gonna want to, after 40 minutes, you're gonna wanna let it rest inside the oven as it cools for about 20 minutes. This, because it's all the egg powders, we can pull it right out afterwards. So here in it goes. 40 minutes. Mark it, set, go. Gives me enough time to clean up my mess. Yes, indeed. Come back when it's bread. The bread is ready and it smells like homemade bread in here, you guys. Clearing my oven. And remember, if you're using the egg white protein powder and water, you can bring it right out. If you're using raw eggs, you need to let it sit and cool off for about 10-15 minutes before you bring it out. Oops, that's hot. And look at my beautiful loaf of bread. You guys, this makes the prettiest, beautiful loaf of bread. I love it. Anyway, and what I really like about it, I'll share. What I really like about cooking it in parchment paper, you guys, is you literally can lift it right out, right from the hot oven. You can peel back the paper right onto a cooling rack. And you can actually reuse the parchment paper. But you guys, this is a beautiful, beautiful loaf of bread. And it smells just like homemade bread. Yes, indeed. Because it is! Well, everybody, that's a wrap for today. I've got a beautiful loaf of bread. I'm so happy. Anyway, everybody, please remember to like, subscribe, ring that little bell, give us a thumbs up. We'll see you right here tomorrow. Sally's coming to say goodnight. What do you say, Sally? Say goodnight. Good night. Good girl. She did. She sneezed. Hooray! Is it time for dinner? Okay, get some.